And some key inflation figures are out. My colleague Priyanshi has been tracking this and joins us now. Priyanshi.
Well, Vishnu, retail inflation figures are now out for the month of February, and retail inflation has eased to 6.4% in the month of February, and that's lower than 6.5% that was reported in the month of January. But it's not all well. Retail inflation is still above the Reserve Bank of India's tolerance band for the second straight month. Remember, the Reserve Bank of India has a target to keep inflation within the band 2 to 6%. And inflation has been above that target band for both the months in 2023, January and February as well. In fact, another interesting point to point out here is that rural inflation is above urban inflation for the 9th straight month. So even when it comes to price rise, the impact is being felt more in rural India. The pain is being felt more in rural India as compared to urban India. If we talk about the figures, rural inflation is at 6.7%, while urban inflation is at 6.1%. So there's a significant difference there between rural and urban inflation. So the price rise is more when it comes to rural India. If we talk about food inflation now, which contributes a major chunk to the overall inflation figure, food inflation has fallen to 5.95% from 6% in the month of January. So food inflation has now fallen to 5.9% in the month of February from 6% in January. So because of these reasons, the overall inflation figure has also fallen from 6.5% to 6.4%. But as I pointed out, that it's still above the RBI's target band of 6%. And that means that there could be more interest rate hikes that the Reserve Bank could announce. Remember that experts were guessing that the Reserve Bank might go for a pause in the interest rates for the months to come. But given that the inflation figures have been above the Reserve Bank's 6% target for the last 2 months, the expectation now is that the Reserve Bank might go in for more interest rate hikes, which mean that our loan EMIs are likely to go up even further as banks will raise their interest rates as well. So this is the expectation. This is the policy implication of this. The monetary policy might go for more interest rate hikes as inflation is now not coming back to the RBI's target. Remember, in the month of November and December last year, the inflation figure did come within the RBI's 6% target, but now for the last 2 months, it's been above that. In fact, if we talk about the categories, the fuel and inflation category has the highest inflation rate at 9.9%. And that's followed by the clothing and footwear category, which has an inflation figure of 8.79%. And after that, it's the food and beverages category, which has an inflation of 6.26%. Now, remember, this is in comparison to what the prices were last year in February to this year in February. After that, it's the inflation for housing, which is at 4.83%. So it essentially means that the prices for overall goods have gone up 6.4% than what they were in February last year, remaining above the RBI's target band. And that's definitely a concern despite the inflation rate easing from January.